Welcome to Redtastic. Story 1. Last year, I, 26 female, was diagnosed with cancer, a news that shattered my world. It has been a really rough time for me and my family. My main source of encouragement at those trying times was my family and my little sister, 23 female. She has been stellar in her support to me during all this. My sister and I have always been incredibly close, and we even promised to be each other's bridesmaids on our respective wedding days, a promise that meant a lot to us. Here's the current situation. Due to excessive hair loss, I was left with no option than to shave my hair off before undergoing my chemotherapy treatment. I had a hard time coping with my new appearance though, but then I'm gradually getting used to it. Halfway through my treatment, my sister announced to us her intentions of getting married. Initially, I was genuinely thrilled for her because I thought it would be a wonderful distraction from the sadness that has been lingering over our family due to my illness. Feeling excited, I offered to sponsor 50% of her wedding expenses. It's coming out of my savings and potential wedding fund, as I do not see myself getting married due to the current situation. My sister always dreamed of having a splendid and lavish wedding, but her fiancé isn't affluent enough to make it happen, so I took it upon myself to make it a reality. However, a few weeks before the wedding, I went to talk to my sister about her wedding plans and my role as a bridesmaid, and possibly pick a style for the bridesmaid dress. But our meeting ended in a shocking way. My sister actually told me that since she wanted a perfect wedding, she was having doubts about my inclusion in the wedding party. Basically, she thinks that my bald head would make her pictures not very appealing. I was hurt by all of this, but offered to do any adjustments she needed, including a wig, but she brushed me off saying it's too late. Because bridesmaid stuff is already underway, meaning she has chosen all her bridesmaids, a maid of honor, and already gone dress shopping as well. I came back home and thought about it, and I no longer wanted to fund her wedding. I thought back to everything, and I feel like she has really not been as supportive to me as the rest of my family has been. And it's mostly been over the phone anyways. I called her up and told her I was hurt and no longer felt comfortable funding her wedding. She wanted to argue, but I felt tired and sick. My family called me yesterday. They said my little sister called them in tears, saying that I refused to sponsor her wedding. She also lied to our parents that she only wanted me to step down as the bridesmaid because she genuinely cared about my health. They are absolutely astonished that I would take such a decision, as they've never known me to be impulsive. They're being tentative about it. My sister has been calling me bawling, saying I'm ruining her and her special day. And I'm so ridden with guilt that I feel sick. So am I the a-hole? Update. My sister recently approached me again, asking if I would still be willing to fund the wedding because they were facing financial difficulties and the wedding might be called off. I told her that I could lend her the money, but she would have to pay it back with interest after the wedding. Initially, she refused, calling me horrible and heartless for suggesting such terms, that I've already made a promise, so I should be honorable and pay up. But honestly, I'm not feeling well, so I just hung up on her. I feel really emotionally drained by all of this. It's so heartbreaking that it has come to this. My family is being solid in all of this. And I think I'ma just forget all this and go somewhere to clear my head. Thanks, everybody. You're not the a-hole, OP. If your sister doesn't want you at the wedding because it will ruin it, then she should be fine with you not funding the wedding you won't be in. Your sister is the a-hole, OP. She sounds selfish, inconsiderate, and childish. Because only a child would expect you to pay for the wedding you won't even be in. Because you've lost your hair due to cancer. Stand on your ground. Don't lend her the money, just use it to take a vacation for yourself. Stay strong, OP. I wish you good luck. Story 2. In 2016, I tipped the scales at 398 pounds at 21 years old, and I was pretty sure my life was over. After my mum died suddenly, I sunk into deep grief and lost my appetite, which triggered an enormous loss of 100 pounds within a couple of months. After I lost some weight, I, surprise, surprise, realized my bones weren't hurting as much, and since my appetite had more or less disappeared, I began to eat healthy and slowly. Painfully walked the 30 minutes it took to get to my local gym, where I toned up and got my cardio health in order. 2018, I had lost all the weight I needed to and bulked up. I still have saggy loose skin on my stomach and arms and inner thighs, but you can't really tell because I focused on bulking and gaining. I go to the gym regularly and have to be strict with my diet because otherwise I still won't eat as much as I need to. My appetite has never really come back after losing my mum. All in all, I look okay. I'll never be Daniel Craig or Idris Elba, but I'm passable. One of my mates I've known since primary school but haven't spoken to in years. We are Facebook friends only, was present at a family gathering recently. Her nana hasn't seen me in years and was congratulating me on my changes. My friend got really pissed off because her nana was talking at length about how much better I look. And so she loudly invited me to agree with her that fat people are happy how they are. I obviously disagree with this, but I stayed quiet. I was never happy when I was fat. Then she said, I always see what you eat on Facebook, and you still eat like you did when you were fat, so clearly you don't want anything to change either. Explain to Nana that health isn't about what you eat. I didn't really feel comfortable challenging her with family and friends present, so I just stayed quiet and the room got very awkward very fast. Her Nana changed the topic very quickly by asking how my dad is. And then my friend called me a dickhead and walked off complaining about me. I feel a bit like I should have just agreed for the sake of agreeing so as not to embarrass her. And I've seen her write about toxic old friends on her Snapchat with a classic black screen and paragraph-long rant. Not the a-hole OP. I'm so sorry about your mom and congratulations on the weight loss. Even if it is because of sad reasons, your mom would be so happy and proud that you are taking better care of yourself. She would be the first person to see you are happier. Your friend is weird and defensive. Your silence was the best path to choose because you didn't agree with her, and that's fine. You have your thoughts just like she has hers. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. Staying silent was the absolute best thing you could have done. It lets everyone in the room know that you don't agree with her, but you don't want to start an argument either. I'm sorry you lost your mom like that, but congrats on turning your life around and feeling better because of it. Not the a-hole. Former fatty here. It's not fun and I was not happy. Everyone is different, but if being fat was so awesome, people like your friend wouldn't have to spend so much time trying to convince people that it is. She's really just trying to convince herself because reality is hard to deal with sometimes. Some people may truly be happy being fat or obese, but deep down, most people aren't. Not the a-hole. Honestly, some fat people are perfectly happy and some are not. Those who are not might be unhappy because of how they view themselves or feel themselves, mentally or healthily or otherwise. Or they might be unhappy simply for how they are treated and perceived by others. Generally, I endorse being mindful of how you approach people who have lost weight, but the entire subject is very layered, complicated, and often deeply personal. Your friend pushed you into validating their view and made you uncomfortable by strong-arming you into participating in a discussion you did not want to have. That is not cool for any subject, and it was not cool then. It is your experience to share to whatever extent you want, and it is up to you whether you want to have a serious discussion or not. Your friend should have respected you more. Story 3. My girlfriend, Tia, 24 female, and I, 27 male, have been together for 2 years and actually just moved in together. My girlfriend sleeps with stuffed animals, a stuffed narwhal, and one of those plushed toy dogs. Tia's childhood was shitty, and if she finds comfort in stuffed animals, so be it. She's in therapy, and if a therapist says that it's not an unhealthy attachment in any way, then I'm fine with it. This is just to clarify that it's not an unhealthy attachment. She is not dependent on them throughout the day. And this is not an age play kink. I don't want you guys armchair diagnosing my girlfriend. Usually, because she doesn't want people to judge her, she'll usually wake up and put her stuffed animals in the closet and take them back out when she goes to sleep. My mum shows up at our door unexpectedly with bags in her hands, adamant that we let her stay for 2 nights. Tia said okay, despite her arrival being a total surprise, and began to prepare a room for her. During this time, I was actually at work. Tia tells me that my mum was adamant about opening all the drawers and cupboards, searching behind stuff, and checking the countertops to see if she cleaned it properly. Tia asked her multiple times to stop, but she didn't listen to her. Then, of course, she finds Tia's stuffed animals. Tia at first tells a white lie about how they belong to her nephew, but my mom keeps touching them and playing with them, which Tia doesn't really like people doing, and Tia asks her repeatedly to stop touching her stuff. Tia describes as accidentally using the word possessive pronoun when she asked my mom in her words, "Stop touching my stuffed animals." My mom finds this extremely funny for no apparent reason and apparently started laughing at her, calling her demeaning names and insisting that her son, me, break up with her. Tia, feeling embarrassed and demeaned, asked my mom to leave and began calling her a ride. Imagine my surprise when I get a phone call at work from my mom claiming that she was sitting outside our apartment block waiting for her ride to come because Tia screamed at her like a bitch and told her to not come back to our place ever again. This was particularly odd because Tia doesn't yell. My mom sounded like she was on the verge of tears. I told my mom I would figure everything out. I called my girlfriend. Tia is audibly crying. She apologizes profusely for kicking my mom out and explains everything to me. I, appalled by my mom's behavior, call her back and explain that I don't believe her, etc. She then begins to cry. She is full on sobbing. I accidentally let out a small laugh as I thought it was manipulative. This is the second time she's told Tia that she's not worthy of me and I wasn't having any of it. Once everything passed, my mom got mad at me for laughing at her trauma, so automatically my dad is mad at me. And Tia is suggesting I apologize. Am I the a-hole? Edit. Thank you so much for all the responses and all the awards. It was completely unexpected. Thank you once again. Tia is a bit calmer now. She really appreciates all the people in the comments telling her that it's perfectly normal to sleep with a stuffed animal. Thank you. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. Your mom is way out of line. Nothing she did was appropriate. Keep standing up for your girlfriend. And put your mom on a timeout until she apologizes and Tia is ready. I can't think of anyone who wouldn't kick me out of their house if I went through all the drawers and closets while they were repeatedly asking me to stop. Not the a-hole. I don't know how your mom can call invading your girlfriend's personal space insulting her and ridiculing her trauma. Obviously, you can't know if your girlfriend did scream at her. However, she was totally in the right to do so. You need to explain to your mom that this is your girlfriend. She's worthy of you. And that if she doesn't agree, then that's her problem and she doesn't have to get involved. Not the a-hole. Your mom was shitty to your girlfriend and lied to you about what happened. Her trauma was not being able to trample your girlfriend more. Your dad wants you to apologize because asking you, a reasonable person, to stabilize the boat is easier and more likely to happen than asking your mom to stop rocking it in the first place. Has your mom apologized at all? I'm betting not.